if you've been keeping up with Tears of the Kingdom, then you've probably seen a new glitch in the last week that uses a shock emitter to let you smuggle a weapon into your hand. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll put a clip on the screen so you can be on the same page as the rest of us. Now, those of you who do know what I'm talking about are probably aware that this doesn't exactly work completely on 1.1.2, and is also the reason that I haven't bothered making a video about it. But I have been doing some testing, and I think I might have a possible solution to that. But before I get to it, there's one other thing that I want to share, and that's a new setup for the glitch. Because, again, those of you who know about this glitch are probably aware of how brutal the timing is. So I found a new setup that completely removes all form of button timing and makes the consistency 100% every single time you do it. Now, you'll need a couple things for it, namely a full set of shock resistance gear. The rubber set will do, the rubber pants and body with the topaz earrings will do. That's what I recommend because that's the easiest one to get. If you don't already have the rubber set, I have another video that shows you where you can get them. I'll leave a link to that in the description and put a little card up in the corner for you that you should see right now if you need a guide on those. So for the actual setup itself, we want to be wearing all three of our pieces so we have full shock resistance. And it's important that when you take one off, you only have level 2 shock resistance. So we'll have all three on. And then we want to equip whatever it is that you want to smuggle. And then we turn on our shock emitter. I don't want to hit it and do any damage. And then we're going to get it right up next to it. And then you want to, wrong button, you want to go down to your armor and remove one piece. So you have the level 2 shock resistance. Then we want to pull up our pad with minus, go to the adventure log, down to your memories, and watch any memory. Doesn't matter what memory. You don't have to watch it all the way through. You can just press X and plus to skip it as soon as you start. And then when that's done, we want to watch one more. Very important. We watch 2 memories. So we skip through this one. And when it's done, we want to press plus. Don't close out of this, just press plus. And we want to go to our weapons. And we'll still have the weapon that we were holding equipped. And we want to drop it. And now, most important step, we press minus again, and we need to watch one more memory. Again, you can just skip right through it, don't have to watch it, you just need to play it. Now, when we press B, we're smuggling the weapon. 100% consistency every time you do it. I've been doing testing on this for multiple hours today, and I have yet to fail it with this method. So this is, as far as I'm aware, the best way of setting this up. But this is where we get into version discrepancies, because the version that you're playing on will heavily change what you can do from this point. If you're on 1.1.2, your glitch stops here. You can't do anything else with this. You can't equip more weapons on top of it to stack the damage and effects. You can't put it away. You can't sprint. It doesn't have extra durability, extra effects. It's just the normal weapon, the same one you were holding. Didn't get duplicated. It just got glued to your hand. And you can swing it, and that's it. So if you're on 1.1.2, this is where this stops for you, for now. If you're on an earlier version, then this is where you can start treating this like a regular Zuggle. You can just take out other weapons. It'll fuse over, it'll take over the properties, or the characteristics of whatever you equip. So my big Goron sword is now acting like a one-handed because of the tree branch. And then if you want, you can go back in and you keep redoing this, same as a Zuggle. You can stack it up, get the same game-breaking effects when you stack too many Zuggles normally. That'll all work the same. So that's it for the setup. Now, going on to the potential application for 1.1.2. Now, I want to preface this. I mean potential by every definition of the word, because I am still on 1.1.0, so I cannot definitively test if this will work. I can just come up with theories based on what I know about what got patched. So for this, I'm gonna just unequip this. Doesn't really matter, but... So we're gonna go do the exact same setup. Full shock resistance, get our weapon out, stand up against it, remove one piece, press minus, and then we're gonna watch our 2 memories. And then the second one, skip through that. And now, same as before, we're going to go to our weapons. We still want to drop it, and then we still want to go back in and watch that 3rd memory. It's the most important memory. This is what lines up the timing. And now, instead of closing out here and being done, this is the part, this is where the theory comes in, and this is the part where I need you guys on 1.1.2 to test this out and see if this works. I want to know if from this point, if you press plus and you go back into your weapons, will the game allow you to equip another weapon? As far as I know, from what the update changed, I don't believe you should be blocked from equipping here, because in the game's current state, you've neither been electrocuted by the shock emitter nor disarmed by the electricity from it. So, as far as the game's concerned, you shouldn't be smuggling a weapon just yet. So there shouldn't be anything stopping you from equipping this weapon. And even on my version, if I close out of here, the smuggle goes through, I'm still holding that other weapon that I equipped, and it's not acting like it did when I did it properly without the extra equip. I'm not constantly stuck putting it away without sprint. It's just acting like a normal zuggling, for lack of a better word. So that's the theory. So any of you guys on 1.1.2, if you want to test this out, let me know the results down in the comments. I would like to know one way or another if this does or doesn't work. If it does, then that'll be amazing. We'll effectively have at least some form of zuggling on 1.1.2. If not, at least now we have a 100% consistent setup, so other people can, take their turn and try and find other ways to get another weapon into your hand over the smuggle on 1.1.2. But that pretty much does it for my theory. Now, there are a few things that I do want to go over before I end this, because I feel they're really important to go over. So please don't skip past this. This can technically be done with both bows and shields, but I very highly recommend not attempting it. And I'm going to show you why. Now, it's important to mention that on 1.1.2, the only known way, because you can't just equip over anything that you're smuggling, the only known way of unsticking the weapons from your hands is to reload a save. However, I can't be 100% positive that that works on 1.1.2. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't, because it works on earlier updates. It works on my version. But I cannot confirm that that will wipe it on 1.1.2. So, for the sake of safety, I highly recommend not using this glitch on shields or bows. I'm going to show you what happens when you use it on either of them. So when you use it on a shield, if you press B at all, ever do anything that would prompt to put this shield away, you're permanently stuck in an animation loop of trying to put away an item that you can't get off your hand. So you try and put it on your back, can't get it off your hand, so it takes back out, realizes it's still in his hand, tries to put it back on his back, so on, and it just does this forever. You can't run. All you can do is walk, jump, climb, and glide. You are effectively like soft locked You can still do things, but as far as combat goes, you're stuck in this position. You can't do anything. If I try and take out my weapon, like I'm not pressing any buttons. This is me pressing buttons. So you can specifically hear this is me mashing Y trying to take my sword off. And this is what it does. No buttons, buttons. Any other buttons, doesn't do anything. You can take it back out if you go to throw, but that lets you, that'll let you attack, yeah, but beyond that, you're just stuck here. You can never get this off of your hand, except potentially loading a save. And just to show you what happens with bows, I'm right at the end of the setup here, or of the glitch here. We'll back out. This is stuck to my hand now, and the reason we don't do this with bows is because when you first do it, sure, it works normally, but if you press B or do anything to attempt to unequip this bow, it's now permanently stuck to your left hand. You cannot take out your bow. This is mashing trigger. You cannot take out your bow. You can't. It doesn't matter if you try and throw. You are permanently trapped in this. You're trapped in this position. You can't run because you'll just keep trying to put it away. Same thing as with the shield. You can walk, jump, climb, and glide. That is all the function you have in this state. So, again, I very, very highly recommend not doing this with bows or shields if you are on version 1.1.2, because there is a possibility that this could potentially softlock your save if something happens and reloading doesn't fix it. Now, the reason this isn't an issue with melee weapons is, in my testing, I have yet to find any possible way to remove the smuggled weapon from that forced equip position. Like, unlike with the sword, or the bow and the shield, I have not come across any way of getting the game to convince itself that that item has been put away and can't actively be used anymore. So no matter what you do, you will always be able to swing that sword. So even in the event that somehow going and loading up an old save doesn't work, you'll still be able to lower that weapon's durability and break it from your hand, unlike with the bow and the shield. And that's going to wrap up this one. I know it was a bit of a longer one than usual, but I really wanted to share these little findings, and who knows, maybe this will work for you guys, and you guys will just have Zuggling on 1.1.2, and the update won't suck as bad anymore. But like I said, worst case, at least there's a more consistent setup, so maybe some other people who are smarter than me can find different means to get another weapon in your hand and make this useful on current patch. So if you like this video, do the algorithm stuff and subscribe to the channel for more.